towards later, so it can't get dismantled as much by Fnatic.
Or we could just, go with a Phoenix and a Bounty first ban.
Yeah.
Just to, keep it the same as it was in the first two games, and invoke the next one and then Dark's it. Oh, well,
Disruptor.
What do you know?
I want to see some Disruptor.
Let's go Disruptor first pick.
I would like to see some. Uncommon pick.
Why not, right? Why not?
Okay.
No.
Why
not?
I didn't expect that.
Why wouldn't you?
So basically, all games Fnatic were first pick, and LGD chose Dire.
Just Dire, yeah. And some teams have actually been favouring Radiant as
Radiant
well.
over
I think
Dire.
you said Complexity.
Complexity did actually, yeah. The other day, yeah.
Like most of the Chinese teams do favor just the Roshan factor.
But this the Dire thing almost goes back to
Oh,
TI5,
look at
doesn't
that!
it?
Oh, Spirit.
Ooh, the block pick.
Yeah.
And Tidehunter as well. They stole it from Ohio. They had a really
So,
good performance last game.
It'll be interesting to see right now if you're Fnatic, you open with the Disruptor. Maybe you were planning to go for that team fight, but LGD responds with Tide, Earth Spirit, so arguably the two best team fighters in the meta, and then you're like, whether you change towards split push, because we know Fnatic can play the 3-core lineup style, like you just push every lane, and you don't give an opportunity for the Tide to actually team fight with Ravage, because that's what you want to do when you have Ravage.
Yeah. To be fair though, Disruptor in general is really good against Tidehunter later in the game as well. When you catch him in the Static Storm and the Kinetic Field, you can kill him off without him getting a Ravage off, and they might just still look for team fights. Maybe even the Lifestealer themselves, pretty good against both the heroes.
Haven't played Lifesteal a huge amount recently, Fnatic, but they are capable of doing it.
They ran it in the group stage, alright, with the Medusa, I think, together.
I know before I came over to Manila, I know Midwan said that he thinks Lifestealer is a very imbalanced hero right now in this meta, just because of all the other heroes. He works very well with all those tanky strength heroes.
Yeah, he does.
Like
we go for the Death
Go for
Prophet.
DP instead.
I'm really looking forward for the Tusk right now. I think they should ban it because DP and Tusk together is really strong, especially against an aggressive lineup like that.
Oh, here we go.
Kiss! Nobody's doing it.
I think they need some encouragement from you, Black.
Maybe you should do it.
I'm waiting for some assistance here. I can't kiss
You
myself.
have your best friend Winter next to you.
So Fnatic is going for like push team fight. I guess we'll see a.
That won't work.
We'll see a maybe very heavy team fight focus game. Both teams going for team fight.
I actually, it's a Lycan ban, right? There's like a little.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
Yeah.
Lycan.
Whoever's in the draft lobby needs to move their mouse right now.
Yeah.
That's okay, it's not on the stream.
Blocking our view.
Observers have to go to the bathroom sometimes, guys.
There
Do they?
Yeah.
I thought they were immune to that. I thought they had like bags and things.
Just empty water bottles.
That would be gross.
Yeah, so Lycan ban.
Yep.
Did see that in game 1, didn't see it in game 2.
In both games, LGD on Dire that did not opt to go for the Lycan. They're banning out the TB.
Okay.
So is it like what you guys might think about?
Yeah. Yes, I mean, we thought we were going to get that, didn't we? Phase 2. Hello, Slacks. So Action Slacks wandering around. Be careful out there, people. Be careful.
He's eating you.
He's out there now. Yeah, careful.
So with the TB ban, this means that LGD can definitely grab Lifestealer if they want to, and it's quite good against Death Prophet, so they banned the Lifestealer.
Does show though, they didn't like that Terrorblade, but I think they have to ban the Lifestealer, right?
It would make a lot of sense because both the counters aren't there right now. I see no reason not to ban the Lifestealer.
What about, I mean, do so with Death Prophet can be good.
Yeah, but then the laning is very weak.
Yeah, 'cause
Very,
you-
very fragile.
You'd have to put it in the safe lane or something.
Right.
We're also distracted by that.
Focus on the draft. Focus, Luke. Focus.
I'm not distracted.
No.
Ah, there it goes. I don't know why they didn't ban it. I thought it was really obvious.
Yeah, wasn't that the biggest, most obvious?
I mean, you banned TB,
Ban
you just
there?
lost to it, and
Well,
And maybe they've got a second option
they need the Lifestealer
alongside
counter.
the
well,
Terrorblade.
they better be confident.
They've even got a great Lifestealer bomb target with Tidehunter, so... Or...
This is where Fnatic break out the Jakiro pick.
Yeah, Jakiro's not good against Lifestealer.
Like,
That
at
one
all.
doesn't work. At all. Not even close. Like, oh, he's about to cast Ice Path.
Oh, you're dead.
I'll press Rage.
Again.
Okay.
Go for the
Beastmaster,
Beastmaster
okay.
though. Hard counter to Lifestealer, I like it. Very good.
It's kind of smart though.
I'm surprised it went through to... Like, I didn't expect the Prophet ban over the Beastmaster ban.
Yeah, but Tide is still like okay against Beastmaster.
Oh yeah,
if you don't have the
really
static
good.
storm on top.
He's really good.
10
Yeah.
seconds remaining.
But they do have really good fight setup. Roar into Death Prophet Silence, Roar into Disruptor ulti. They have a lot of different ways to take fights. If they even do like Roar into Disruptor ulti on Tide, for example, they can kill him during that. Just a little bit of setup there.
What would you go on LGD now? Like, Quap is good, but they have like 3 counters already. Same goes for Puck. I would like some more initiation. Because the Tide is gonna go mech probably, and then he's gonna go Blink after. And it will take like 15 minutes, 20 minutes if he has a good game.
Can he just go in with Earth Spirit though? It's a little dangerous sometimes early game, but
Yeah.
Dazzle pick's a little surprising, but does give them some nice minus armor. Synergizes with Tide's Gush.
And it's really good against Beastmaster, because you will
Yeah,
want to
and
focus down the
too.
target.
Like the DP, if you weave your own team.
And we spoke about it already in the other series. Tidehunter can easily get saved and then get a Ravage off after the Static Storm if he actually gets killed back. I don't know what's happening. It's good.
It's gonna happen
Too
eventually.
much distraction,
just-
Paul.
They just, you made a really good point. They're just really excited about it, that's all.
Really excited about Dazzle pick.
Yeah, I'm sure it was the Dazzle pick.
Yeah, me too. The hero is so exciting, you kill like everything with it.
Do you guys like Dazzle right now? I feel like he can be useful sometimes, but he's a bit hit or miss.
I think Dazzle is good because Disruptor wants to initiate on Tidehunter, and then the Static Storm will actually end before the Grave ends, and you can get a really good Ravage off, because everybody will, like,
Try to kill you, be around you.
they will be
yeah.
around you, and you will just get a really good Ravage off.
So Fnatic goes for more team fight, but they're gonna be a bit more greedy. They're going for
It's gonna be
jungling.
Jungle Enigma.
Haven't seen them do any jungling heroes like Enigma for some time.
Yeah, but
Only
DJ,
Doom, right?
DJ used to run it a lot, like a while ago.
Doom and Enchantress mostly,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think
I do like it though. Once again, he gets a BKB, and it's almost impossible for LGD to actually initiate into them.
It's just the early game that might be a bit worrisome for his team.
1/6 of their last 7 Enigma games, Fnatic.
It's really good versus the Tide and Lifestealer.
Yep.
It's gonna help your offlane too, because you deny the range creep on the offlane.
Or even middle, depending on what they want to run.
Wouldn't
there.
you want to help the offlane more?
Yeah, probably.
Or you think that helping the mid is better here?
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, I'm not sure what LGD's middle is yet. I will tell you at the end of the game.
If
I
Fnatic
think,
gets up,
I think I should do that. I think I could do that too.
You think so?
Reserved.
I really want to see a Fnatic 4 staff this game. It counters almost all the disable that LGD has.
Yeah.
If they just keep like their, I mean, their first 3 picks, it looked very much like, oh, burst one guy down, so they pick Dazzle. But now with Enigma, they have way more sustain. They have way more team fight as well, a lot of AoE team fight as well.
Yeah.
So if they just keep the first guy alive, they should be able to outlast the Rage and then kill Lifesteal after.
Yeah, LGD's problem is they only have 1 low cooldown stun, and other than that, they only have slows. Like, once those heroes actually get BKBs, they cannot fight anymore. They just can't lock them down or keep them in place.
As long as the Enigma doesn't get pressured too much, it is a really good pick here.
Yeah.
And it's our Spirit, so it's a little scary, but Disruptor can offset that a bit if he goes too deep in the jungle.
And if Earth Spirit is missing, then you probably know where he is, and then you can like 2v1 him in the jungle.
I think you need to be able to win your lanes because there's a jungling Enigma.
Yeah.
Like going for Queen of Spirit.
I think you cannot really disrupt the Enigma. By like
you
going
try
for
to
the
win
Enigma,
the
you
lane.
want to win the lanes. Yeah,
The mid
exactly.
lane, I think you focus on winning the mid lane.
Yeah. Phantom Lancer.
It's very good versus the Lifestealer.
And they banned the Ember out earlier too.
Seems like a pretty draft from Fnatic. With a DK was a
very
bit more standard
straightforward.
for LGD. So, quickly down the line in terms of balance. Kevin, whose draft do you like most?
Well, Pill's going to get a Manta this game, and it's going to counter the silences on LGD, so I think Fnatic has the draft advantage here.
Okay.
Sorry, he's gonna buy.
It's
he's
just
gonna
it's not
get a
what
man.
Kevin says. It's just Black's reaction every time that word gets said. Now he's actually tilted. Winter, what do you think?
Fnatic because they can actually get a Manta, and LGD has no Manta heroes.
Okay,
Sorry,
Black.
I mean, I have no choice but to say Fnatic because
You picked them in the series.
yes.
Yeah. All right. Belief is high amongst the panelists. They believe that Fnatic can come through. Let's find out as they go head to head with LGD in Game 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into game number 3 between LGD and Fnatic. We are here, of course, the upper bracket. Winner of this series secures top 6. Loser goes down to the lower bracket. I'm Mott, he's Gods. And let's jump right into it, Gods. Guys, we were talking a little bit about the setup for the silences, the Static Storm in particular with the exorcism. We thought maybe a Void was going to come out for Fnatic, but then you saw the Enigma pick, and I think you liked it at the end there.
Yeah, they needed that big team fight playmaker, and they're going to keep DJ on it. It's very interesting that coming into the main event, Fnatic have effectively swapped their roles. Despite having a good group stage, they went through second place behind Liquid, who are the kind of the tournament favorites. They said, look, we think we can do better. We think swapping DJ back to the 4 position, putting 3-4-3 back on the Disruptor or the 5 position. So far, it's only been Disruptor. Maybe it's just because he's like the Disruptor specialist.
Maybe. That's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah, he's back on this, but importantly, early on, whoa, they missed the D-War. What? Bushi?
Oh,
they've lost vision.
They need vision. They have to get the Hawk out for Ohio.
Oh, okay, he brings the Hawk over.
And they just Iron Talon it. Okay.
But they see the ward come down early on, so really good positioning from Ohio. He saw the aggressive movement coming out from Sep, so they get the D-Ward, and that's going to help them out a lot here in the early game. Guarantees that Ohio can kind of jungle his camp by the Secret Shop, and considering he's starting with an Iron Talon, this is really nice for Fnatic.
With the offlane Beastmaster, which we've seen a little bit, Shao8 had a rough game last game on that offlane
I think
Beastmaster.
DJ's actually offlaning. Looking at his items, 3 Clarities, Tangos.
We saw this earlier, I think,
We'll
with
see, yeah.
LGD. So it depends. Yeah, I mean, for now, it looks like they're just going to keep the Enigma in base. And DJ,
Okay, he's gonna jungle.
I think he's going to jungle at this point. He's going to head over. He's going to just get there at 30 seconds and start going to town PvE style.
Yeah. I mean, something important to know is that, I mean, Dazzle, very good zoning here. You can go for the early Poison Touch. You've got great lane sustain, as well as like a potential nuke with the Shadow Wave. So it is a very good hero to have against the Beastmaster.
Rolling Boulder doesn't connect for Sep. That was one thing that Fnatic had going last game that was really strong. DJ rolling in, getting that first blood. Sure, he went down afterwards to the tower, but that was really important. So Sep will be 0 for 1, but that's not a bad start. He's going to start being aggressive by heading towards this hard camp here, which is where the Beastmaster is situated, but Ohio will go back to land momentarily.
Yeah, this is I like this kind of aggressive play coming out from Earth Spirit, recognizing that Beastmaster will want to use that jungle with the Iron Talon, and importantly for MMY, he's got the pull camp, so he can keep this creep XP away from the Beastmaster. And there's only limited jungle for the Beastmaster when you've got the Enigma taking over the main jungle. So if you can disrupt this camp by the Secret Shop from being farmed, it does make Beastmaster's life a lot harder.
Yeah, and he still has the camp to work with, and obviously Sep is going to be even more aggressive just all the way over here, making sure Ohio does not get free jungling. He's going to Iron Talon. Sep will at least leech experience here, if not get the CS with the Boulder Smash, but Sep doesn't have that yet. He's only level 1, so he'll only be able to Rolling Boulder in and just be aggressive against Ohio for now, but he should be able to get at least some experience leached here.
I mean, Ohio's trying to get the last hit without actually sharing the XP. Problem is Sep has already taken out his boar, so he can't really zone Sep away.
But he's done a lot of damage. Ohio has done at least half of his HP pool. He's going to tango up and he's going to walk back into the right click. So Ohio was ready. He's like, I don't care if I'm missing out on experience. I am zoning you out one way or another. He's chasing him all the way to the top rune spot. And he's actually done a ton of damage. Sep is trying to man up, but here comes the Dazzle. The Shadow Wave actually doesn't connect. The Rolling Boulder will, though. This might be trouble for Ohio. He gets the bounty rune. He's going to pop the boar up, and Sep needs to be careful. They had the Poison Touch on top of that. Ohio still not level 2, but he did a lot of aggression there to Sep, and vice versa for that matter.
And importantly, Sep does get the bounty rune, didn't get level 2 off of that. If that was a level 2 with a Boulder Smash, maybe we see a kill onto Ohio, but Ohio gets him away from that camp, so can finally take over.
He'll finish off the Iron Talon and just make sure he gets this last hit on that Wild Wing Ripper. But I wanted to ask you, because we didn't have a chance to talk about this, the mid-1 Phantom Lancer pick. I don't know how much success it's had at this tournament. We saw Secret lose with it yesterday. What do you think about the pick here?
I've seen him play it a few times. It was quite trendy to be running the PL in the mid lane for a while, something that another Southeast Asian team, TNC, actually started and MVP picked up on. And Fnatic every now and then were running it mid lane for mid 1, so he's not unfamiliar with the hero, but we haven't seen much of it here at the Manila Major. It's a hero that really has fallen off, doesn't match up well against a lot of the tanky cores we're seeing, needs a lot of items to actually really function, but I imagine for Fnatic, they kind of recognize this may be just a slower game and looking for something a bit more late game oriented that can also fight and be aggressive early.
I think Ohio's kind of okay with the pick too. He's able to walk up, anchor smash, get CS just fine. We saw Ohio last game, he wasn't able to actually get farm in that offlane. He had to jungle, and Shao8 is doing just fine, pulling the crew back to the tower at this point. He's getting plenty of room experience as well as CS to get the job done.
Yeah, this laning stage looks pretty solid for LGD across the board. They're getting a tiny bit more in the way of CS and farm, and that's with an Enigma on the Fnatic side. But once an Enigma kind of hits that level 6 timing, we can see DJ rotate out of this jungle if he wants to. So it's something dangerous that LGD need to be wary of. But yeah, the Beastmaster, you start with an Iron Talon, you don't expect Ohio to be this far behind, but because of the Earth Spirits play, Ohio is still just level 2.5 at 4 minutes in.
And he can't go to his own jungle. Hold that thought. 3-4-3 avoids the rolling boulder. Still doesn't have glimpse. He's level 2. Hasn't skilled anything up yet. Needs maybe a kinetic field to actually stay alive here, but he's taking a lot of damage. They have maybe coming in. The breathe fire should do the job, and it will. Sep will get your first blood. And they chase down the support. They even get some vision as well. DJ will pick up an invis rune that might actually save his life, although maybe he didn't have any mana left. So they won't lose 2, but they still lose their support. 3-4-3 Disruptor.
Yeah, that's a nice little early pickup. Going to the Earth Spirit as well, so we'll just fund his boots money. Looking at the lanes as a whole, still, yeah, LGD going to be feeling very good considering how much damage Xiaowei has done in this offlane. He's level 5 with 19 CS. He's preventing mid one from free farming. Lifestealer with a bit of a farm advantage over the Fnatic carry, and mid one's been forced to chew through a lot of regen. He's already used a salve. He's going to go into a bottle, which is not an item I mean, you'll see it every now and then on the mid PLs, but in the safe lane, it's only a few players who seem to go for the bottle. I know like Eternal Envy likes to go for it, but he needs the sustain in this lane considering how much damage he's continually taking.
And this is the problem with the jungle Enigma at this point. He can't come out, he can't help mid one survive, and 3-4-3 you already saw he was killed instantly earlier on in this game. Sep is setting up in the side. He actually was ready to go for a rolling boulder. Didn't quite have the initiation though. Mid one will get the bottle back up and get pretty much to full HP here at the very least, but Ohio can just run in, be aggressive now. He's, I think, almost level 6 at this point, as you talked about. Mid one is struggling in this bottom lane right now.
Yeah. Oh, by how you mean Xiaowei on the side, I meant. Yeah. No, Xiaowei is having a very good time. Arcane boots, he's got the ring. He's at this point, once he gets the first couple of levels, if you don't zone him out level 1, level 2, zoning him out becomes near impossible.
Mid one walks right into Sep. He has to use the doppelganger to get out of the way. Xiaowei should have another anchor smash ready to go momentarily, but he won't chase him down, won't die for this. The Enigma is rotating over. He does have Black Hole.
But he's been scouted by a Dire Ward though, so they know this is coming. LGD should be able to get out of this one. And when you hit that level 6 one and make that first rotation, you've got to use your smoke. DJ, it looked like he wasn't ready to rotate until he saw the fight happening bottom, so he just made a run straight towards it. Mid one wants to refill that bottle.
He's going to get the haste rune. He is going to have to pop it, or at least the doppelganger first. There wasn't a Dragon Tail from MMY, wasn't quite in range, even with the Elder Dragon form, which he doesn't have yet. He hasn't skilled it up yet. Xiaowei, they have the glimpse back for 3-4-3 or kinetic field, one of those two. Looks like he will be able to just avoid the damage, kills the illusion instantly. They won't go for him.
Yeah, you have to commit so much to kill him, and the potential for a turnaround is very, very dangerous.
And LGD will situate 3 heroes down bottom for some potential aggression between on mid one in that bottom lane.
Mid one with TP Mango could rotate. This is a very dangerous time for him to have a haste rune. Just level 3 Dragonlance could be enough to set up kills on someone such as the Dragon Knight at mid if they want to commit resources to that gank. And considering that his lane has kind of been lost and Tide is as high level as he is, the best option for him may be just to rotate out of this lane.
Biggest thing for Fnatic is Ohio is still level 3. Right now, he is struggling. He's not finding farm. He can't really deal with the lifestealer. He can't go into lane. He's going to get 4 off of this camp, but this is just not a good... It's pretty much what happened to Xiaowei last game on the Beastmaster. Ohio's struggling in the same vein right now.
Yeah, and this is why Beastmaster hasn't been a top contested pick between these teams, is because neither offlaner is that comfortable playing it. Ohio used to play quite a bit, something Black kind of mentioned, where it is one of his better heroes, but he played it back when it was like the classic offlane hero. He doesn't really like these Iron Talon jungle farming Beastmasters that the kind of 4 position players are doing a lot of. He doesn't feel as comfortable contesting the lane with this hero right now.
And he can't go back to the jungle, his own jungle as well, because DJ is there and he's farming up, he's PvEing. So there's no there's no place for Ohio to farm at this stage in the game other than that one camp at the side lane, and that's it. Smoke is going to come out though from DJ. He has that Black Hole ready. He's situating bottom for at least maybe an initiation to Xiaowei. They'll have to commit Black Hole to get this kill, but mid lane it looks like there's a kinetic field. Maybe did pop the Elder Dragon form. The Spirit Siphon came out. Now 3-4-3 getting rolling boulder. They get the stun out. The kick into the stun from Sep. Nicely done. The heal comes through. The breathe fire as well, and they get a pickoff again on 3-4-3, the second death of the game.
Fnatic's just looking around like, okay, we've got this disruptor, we want to try and maybe find some pickoffs, but you look at all 3 lanes, it's like, who do you actually try and kill? Xiaowei, tanky as all hell. Mid lane, it's a DK with backup. Again, another very tanky hero. 1000 HP, he's got magic one strategy, he's got 2 points in Dragon Blood, and then the top lane, it's a lifestealer with Rage. Every single lane for LGD is so tanky and hard to bring down. There's no easy to gank lane, and as a result, Fnatic are going to be kind of forced to play this farming game, which is in theory, works fine with their lineup. You've got this jungling Enigma, you've got an Iron Talon Beastmaster, but it doesn't suit the Fnatic way of life. This is a team that likes to make movements early on, that likes to pressure the lane, that likes to be aggressive in the early game.
And I figure LGD will be aggressive here. They have the lifesteal on top of the net worth. The DK will probably stay mid, try to do some damage to that tower, but they can get an Infest Bomb here pretty soon once they get the armlet up for the lifestealer, and he should be doing pretty well. In fact, he's very close to it. He already has the Helm of the Iron Will, the Gloves of Haste, the Blades of Attack, so aggressive. Unsurprisingly getting free farm when there's no Beastmaster in lane to contest him, or nobody in general to contest him.
Yeah, this just hasn't really worked with the shared jungle between Beastmaster and Enigma, and I think the most important thing this game has been just Sep's early pressure onto Ohio's jungle to just disrupt it that little bit, zone him away, take away the bounty rune from him, and that's just slowed things down tremendously. DJ's level 8, but we haven't seen that first black hole, which, if you're winning, is fine, but I think when you're behind, you need to be looking just for a solo pick-off with that black hole. Find a kill on someone like the Tidehunter bottom. Perhaps you just commit 3 or 4 heroes to kill off the Tide, get your PL a free lane for a little bit, but PL's just never really had the mana for it. Top lane up, Ohio's been bombed, by the way.
They get the Infest Bomb out. Self came through, and they just bring him down. He's already having a rough laning stage, and it's even further so now with him down for 16 seconds. And LGD, on top of that, they're going for the mech of the Tidehunter. So if you try to kill him now, that's great, but if he gets that mech off in time, when he has it, it's going to be devastating for Fnatic. So more tankiness coming out from LGD, already with a ton of armor, ton of HP, ton of tanky heroes. It's going to get that much harder. They have an Ancient stack as well that they're going to give to Shout with the Anchor Smash at level 4 and Kraken Shell at level 3.
And that's something which Fnatic aren't even really wary of at this point. Jawade's just going to farm this with ease. This is really worrying. It gets MMY levels in XP. LGD are crushing this laning stage 10 minutes in. It's a 1,500 gold lead, about to get a lot bigger with Jawade completing this Ancient stack, which will get him a lot more in the way of farm and levels.
It's going to get him that mech. He's up to 500 gold right now with 2 components. He has enough money for it now. It'll get ferried out. I imagine LGD will look for a fight here pretty soon now with the armlet as well picked up for that lifestealer.
Jawade's not only going to mech, but he's going to be almost halfway to his Blink Dagger by the time he finishes this camp. That's the really scary thing. PL just hasn't really offered a whole lot. He's going to be rushing Boots to travel, it looks like, so he can be active on the map while being that kind of greedy farmer. But Fnatic, Beastmaster, Enigma, you're looking to push towers, set tempo, but 11 minutes in is when Ohio hits level 6. This just does not cut it when you're running a Beastmaster.
He does have that now at the very least. So Roar is up and ready to go. They have some counter initiation, Exorcism, Black Hole, Static Storm. They have plenty of good team fight themselves. But again, LGD is so tanky. They have pretty much everything they need with the armlet now, completed for the lifestealer, maybe waiting for DK's next item to go for LGD. And he is sitting at Tread's wand as well, so not going for that armlet first, but now has the Helm of the Iron Will, even tankier with even further armor for maybe.
Right, Fnatic are going to probably just chew through smoke after smoke now. They've got every hero up to level 6, so Static Storm, Roar. They've got great killing combos with their supports, with their offlaner, with the Black Hole. They can push really well, but they've got to actually execute right now. They've got to find those kills and initiations using smokes, get the towers and objectives as well. I like this push up top because it's kind of like, okay, where's the Beastmaster? He's probably sitting up there with the push, but instead he's swinging towards his mid lane. But for now, LGD, very wary of this. Lifestealer's not anywhere near that top lane, recognizing that with Roar and Black Hole, there's 2 big ultimates that can go through his rage to help gank him.
Ohio wants to walk out and get the kill on maybe, but he's cleared out the creep wave already, and so that means that LGD will continue to push down bottom that tier 1 tower. Shawait not having anybody TPing just yet, because guess what? The Enigma's top lane, DJ, continues his push.
September with an Infest. Misses the roll horribly. Whoa!
Ohio just walks out. He's pretty happy with that, on top of the fact that they're just going to get a TP away from the Enigma. Sure, they lose the tier 1 tower down bottom. DJ's alive, and so is everyone else. They're going to walk mid, looking for maybe, but they just can't find that catch. There's no blink initiation, no rolling boulder for them. They're Fnatic. They don't have the Earth Spirit, so not easy to catch anybody for LGD right now for Fnatic.
When you're a Titan, you can just solo push your lane with not a single teammate on your side of the map. You're in a good position. Problem is, he may have just overstayed.
Static Storm, Xiaoi trying to take it. There's the Malice. They will finally bring him down, even with mech. He's dead for 42. They get a pick that they desperately need, gets Mushi up to the top in net worth, and gets him towards that Eul Scepter as well.
And that's a much needed kill. He was getting way too much out of that bottom lane. He's seeing on 1,500 gold. He actually is going to go straight into the pipe here. opting to tank up even more.
Rolling boulder from
Another-
Sep misses again, but there's the Infest Bomb, and this time Ohio's in trouble. Roar will come out, they have the Magnetize, they get off the silence as well, and Ohio will get right click down. The Exorcism will go for Mushi, doing a decent amount of damage to Aggressive. The Borslow comes through, he has no Infest, he has the Armlet Toggle, needs to be careful, the Spirit Siphon coming out, the Glimpse back onto Aggressive, gets him back in there. They get the Grave off in time though, the Open Wounds will come through, they have the Kinetic Shield. There's the Black Hole, from the low ground, on to 3! Sep as well as MMY are gonna get chewed down, 3 dead, Mushi gets a double kill. DJ, are you kidding me, from the low ground?
DJ, God, the crowd here just goes insane as he hits the black hole of his life. That's exactly what Fnatic needed. A 3-hero black hole from the low ground. Fnatic have suddenly found their way back into this game off of that. Not sure whether they can continue pushing this T1 mid tower. They sure as hell think so, but LGD, pretty short respawn timers, have Ravage ready to defend.
Xiaowei walking up, no Blink Dagger. He did go for that mech first. He has that available, and Fnatic will smartly back away, happy with what they've already obtained. But that is an insane black hole from the low ground from DJ. I can't believe he just hit that.
Yeah. That's the thing with this Fnatic draft, with this Disruptor pick, anytime you kind of slightly commit to aggression, you have to be ready to fully commit because they'll always catch you with that glimpse, and that's something LGD just weren't ready to fight. Mushi gets a nice deny on the tier 1 tower, just taking away some of that LGD economy, but it's still going to be LGD. I think recognizing that their 5-man with mech, Ravage is very strong. Another miss roll, September.
They get the gush on the Mushi, but they are diving very far. Close to tier 3, Static Storm will come out, Kinetic Field will catch, but Aggressive has the rage going. They really want to dive this without Exorcism, without the black hole as well. Xiaowei will get the Infest pickup, and he'll walk away.
They're behind towers. This is not the play, LGD.
Now Fist onto Xiaowei. Glimpse should be up in a couple of seconds, but now there's a Boulder Smash in the mid 1. A little bit alone, they get off the heal, and so they're pretty tanked. They still have that mech for Xiaowei as well. Sep almost going down to that Spirit Lantern. He has to walk away. The Illusion's hitting him and chopping him low, but another heal will get him back up full pretty soon.
LGD ready to fight and push, but they need to just take... If Fnatic are avoiding them, just take the objectives. Diving very deep there. I think recognizing that Fnatic not in the best state to teamfight, mid 1 getting close to the Diffusal Blade, that's going to be a very key item for them. You can just kind of defend pushes by spamming out your illusions to burn away mana on heroes like Lifestealer, Dragon Knight. These low mana pool heroes might struggle a little bit against Diffusal, but the good news for LGD is there are 3 Arcane Boots on their side.
Fnatic have Exorcism back up, Xiaowei getting slowed down by Double Bore. They still have the Infest Bomb ready to go for Xiaowei, and more Shadow Waves from MY still has that Grave. They have Roar as well for Ohio if need be. That slow is ridiculous with Spirit's Lance. They get off the Glimpse as well, the Kinetic Field, the Silence coming through. Xiaowei's still alive, the raindrops, he's chewing through them, and he has to mech up. Now with that down, they'll back away together. They Infest out so that Aggressive can go back to farming. So Aggressive doesn't farm that entire time, while mid 1 and the rest of the squad are defending, killing the creep waves, everything they need to do.
Aggressive just spent probably the last 5 minutes of this game just roaming, infested in teammates. He spent a lot of time infested in the Earth Spirit earlier, then about a minute infested inside the Tide there, and Fnatic defended just by chipping and poking around. That's while the Static Storm's on cooldown. The reason LG are confident to push is they know they can get Ravage off when there's no Static Storm. But once that ulti comes back online, you have a way to Glimpse initiate on the Tide, burst him down without the threat of a Ravage. And this is where this Tide pick is not as scary as it was last game because you have a way to prevent it.
This TP, they have everything. Ohio looking for that Roar, maybe in trouble. The Exorcism will go. They've got Ravage. The Silence gets out in time, and Xiaowei walks into it. The Crypt Storm, the Spirit Lance, he gets off the Ravage, though. They won't lose anyone just yet, but now the fight is over. The Glimpse back coming through. It's on to Xiaowei. He gets the Grave off. They have Black Hole still. DJ running low on mana. Xiaowei about to go down. The Exorcism not done yet. They've lost one. That's the Disruptor, and Xiaowei will live. Put a Black Hole onto Aggressive. They get the mech off, but is it enough? Can he stay alive? They should have Grave ready to go. He pops the Infest, gets inside of Xiaowei, now pops out, looking for more damage, but the Exorcism gets the kill. Mushi alive, but barely. Now mid 1 and DJ have to back as maybe has popped the Elder Dragon form. It is a 3 for 3 when it's all said and done. It took forever to bring down Xiaowei, but they did in the end.
Dazzle, Mama Ya doing so much in the backlines there. Heal after heal. He had the full duration weave up as well, providing a ton of sustain, and as good a job as he did just kiting around the lifesteal, the DK actually dishes out more damage than anyone in that fight. And unfortunately, Disruptor could not get off the Static Storm. And that's kind of the key here. If they get that initial Static Storm to blow up the Tide, prevent that Ravage coming out. It wasn't the best Ravage. It doesn't set up a good LGD teamfight, but it allowed them to disengage, reset, and then kind of fight on their own terms, even if it was a fight without Ravage following it. Fnatic didn't get the initial catch, and that was the big thing there to allow LGD to at least trade somewhat evenly and really somewhat favorably, considering they killed the mid 1 PL.
I mean, that was still another great black hole from DJ, but like you said, without the damage from the Static Storm, mid 1's still not quite there yet either.
Xiaohui survived through all of that. After initially it's like, okay, wow, he survived using a Ravage, and then he gets glimpsed back in, you're like, okay, he's not going to survive a second time, but the Grave is there, Mamiya heals him, he somehow gets off all the sustain, and well, suddenly Tide walks out, and you're like, okay.
The mech up, making sure that they stayed alive for the majority of that engagement. And LGD, although they take an even fight, they're still in the lead, at least in terms of the net worth right now. By about 1,000, not much. It's still a very even game currently.
Yeah. And you look at the net worth, and it's actually the Dragon Knight maybe who's by far on top of the overall farm. This is kind of sign that maybe they have to put more emphasis on focusing him down in these fights, not as much the lifesteal. Aggressive not even building into that glass cannon kind of desolator build that we normally see. He's going for this much more sustained build with the Yasha pickup likely into an SMY, so I think they actually have to throw more spells towards maybe and just kind of ignore the lifestealer a bit. He's not dealing that much damage.
Well, the problem with killing maybe is now he has a BKB coming out, so all of that magical damage is going to be completely useless against that Dragon Knight. He's already inherently tanky with his Dragon Blood, not to mention the armlet toggled on as well. So killing this DK is going to be a feat of strength for Fnatic to get done.
Ohio is so poor. He hasn't got his Necro Book 1 even up. We're 19 minutes in. If he had a Necro 1 or even a Necro 2, you're looking at much better burst damage coming out from him on the raw target, not to mention the mana burn. Very useful just to kind of limit what heroes like Dragon Knight can do in these fights. If you mana burn them really fast early on and there aren't arcane boots to back them up, suddenly that's one less spell they may be getting off in a team fight.
Mid 1 has picked up the Diffusal Blade and sitting on regular boots now, probably into the Boots of Travel later on down the road. Xiaohui is about to get his Blink Dagger, at least he has enough money for it if he wants to go down that road. He has a Cloak on top, so a Pipe could be another option for him, but considering he's saving up this amount of gold, and in this game, I think Xiaohui's going for the Blink Dagger on the Tidehunter.
There we go. He gets the full Blink Dagger, so comes a bit later than perhaps he could have gotten that, but got a lot of tanky small items along the way, and those tanky small items have paid off in a few fights now for LGD. Very even here in the Game 3 decider. Fnatic looking to play around their ultimates, get the breathing room to get the black hole back up, and this is going to be a BKB black hole in this next fight. Nothing to cancel it on the side of LGD.
Do they have the damage though, especially if they get that BKB off on maybe as well?
Yeah, exactly. If you BKB DK in the front, if you're BKB'd and Rage, get the Lifestealer and the Dragon Knight, the damage onto these BKB heroes is very minimal. PL isn't quite at that state where he does much physical damage. Beastmaster with no Necrobooks isn't doing physical damage, so walking up and getting a BKB black hole, sure, it's possible on Lifestealer and DK, but whether you can kill these heroes is a complete another matter. It's not just the fact they're tanky, but they've got a Dazzle Sing behind them.
Aggressive about to walk into their squad of Fnatic. They get the roar off. Do they have the damage against Aggressive? They get off the Diffusal Blade, and it's more than enough damage to bring him down. The mana burn is ridiculous. They even use the Exorcism, although they didn't need it from Mushi. Maybe a little bit too early on that R button press from him, and they even get the TP out for maybe on top of that. LGD were smoked up, but they were nowhere near that engagement. Aggressive just walks into his Death Gods.
The reason they exorcism is because they actually thought LGD were like right behind him. The Radiant Vision, they had a Hawk seeing the Lifestealer running in, but they didn't see any other LGD hero of the map. So Mushi's like, we're not messing around. If Lifestealer's here, he's probably doing it here for a reason with backup. But I mean, Aggressive just kind of caught out in no man's land. Kind of uncharacteristic play from him. It has not been his best series on the Lifestealer, and Fnatic capitalizing on mistakes.
Aggressive first game did pretty damn well, but in these past two games, especially in game number 2, struggled mightily against this Fnatic squad. Fnatic now pushing and feeling confident despite not having Exorcism. They still have BKB Black Hole, excuse me, although the Enigma is not there. Aggressive is just going to open wounds, and he's going to force the TP out from Mushi, and Mushi should be able to get away just in time. 343 will do the same, in Ohio also TPing away, just trying to pressure that tier 2 tower, get some TPs back, and just leave.
And Fnatic, I think, probably looking at their lineup, like, we actually scale really well this game. You're talking about Enigma going late game with a BKB Black Hole that can't be cancelled. Throwing a Blink Dagger, a Refresher in the mix, this hero just gets even scarier. Beastmaster, even an underfarm one, you've got a BKB Piercing Disable. The Dragon Knight, the Lifestealer just have to play afraid, even when they're in that Magic Immune form because of the Roar. And you've got Disruptor, a hero that can follow up some kind of Roar with a Static Storm, prevent stuff like the Rage coming out from a Lifestealer. So
if the game goes late enough and he gets an Aghanim Scepter for 343, and then it gets even better for Fnatic.
Yeah. I mean, there are late game tools on LGD side. Don't get me wrong. I talked last game about how good Tide can be in the late game. Xiao, farmed as he is going to scale incredibly well on top of that. So it's going to be a very interesting game as things progress.
Rolling boulder, DJ's going to get gushed up. There's the boulder smash. They will lose this Enigma. He's not going to pop his BKB with the inevitable death looming around the corner. So Aggressive will get the kill. They get a smoke and at least one pick off, not to mention some vision as well. But that's it for LGD.
Yeah, he could have, if he BKB'd instantly, he could have likely got a TP away. But once he takes damage, it's not even worth chewing through a 10-second BKB. Problem is now, Roche being alive means this is very likely going to go LGD's way without much of a fight. They're unlikely willing to commit an Enigma buyback. There's no Radiant Vision around this area.
It will
currently.
take some time, but
yeah,
they should be able to take it in, I think, within the 20 seconds that the Enigma is down. Especially there's no tier 1 towers, especially mid, for the Enigma to TP into for Fnatic.
I like the play from mid one. He's just going to go for the tier 2 tower top trade. Considering their limited vision, the Hawk getting instantly taken out, they're playing kind of blind right now, so it's much safer just to pressure the tier 2 top tower and not waste a buyback on a potential Roche that isn't going to be able to be stopped. So Aggressive gets the Aegis, TP's top, so they won't even get the tier 2 up here.
It looks like they're setting up for a kill.
Yeah, they could take this Aegis out.
Aggressive, he's playing a bit back right now. He just wants to farm this creep wave and back together, but it looks like Ohio's going to come in. The Roar comes out, but he gets the Rage off, and now it's time to leave for Fnatic. They can't fight into this. The Static Storm to cover the retreat to make sure that nothing else happens. 3-4-3 will get in time. They actually cancel the TP coming out from the Tide under Xiao. It's like, okay, they committed the Static Storm. I don't need a TP top there. We won't get anything out of it.
Looks like they, I feel like in Fnatic's mind, they've maybe got a bit greedy there, trying to think they could kill him once with the Roar, and then when he respawns, the same as last game, they have the Static Storm ready, but ideally they just start with the Static, they commit the Static Storm to take out the Aegis there. It was way too greedy underneath the tower. They know the LGD TPs are going to be slow because it was an aggressive TP up there, which meant that the follow-up TPs are going to take that extra couple of seconds, but
maybe he's going to find DJ in the same spot they found him earlier. He's in trouble. He's going to pop the mech. Still has that BKB if necessary. Not to mention Black Hole, but he's out of mana. He pops the BKB and will go down to the right click, but maybe he's getting chewed up by the Exorcism. They get off the mech as well as the Shadow Wave, and now Mushi has to go to work on his Xiao 8 instead. He's got no mana to use his Ravage, though. He's in trouble. He gets forced away, and actually, they clips him back. Do they have the damage to chew through Xiao 8 in time? He's got Ravage. He doesn't want to use it. He will, but it catches no one. Mushi's still getting chewed down by Aggressive. He gets the Rage in the open wounds. They finally get the kill onto 2 for Fnatic. And LGD, DJ just getting caught in a bad position again, guys.
yeah, the pickups, the vision from LGD, they've completely got this entire Radiant jungle warded, and they're finding these catches. Maybe Shadowblade, a great item pickup to allow him just to roam around the map as farmed as he is. Any hero he can find suddenly gets put in a very awkward position where they've got to suddenly play very defensively, and LGD will get a tier 2 tower as well as those 2 big kills off of it. Ohio barely manages to TP away from the rotations back top from LGD. Gets a tiny bit of damage onto the tier 3.
Setting it for later, maybe for Ohio to split push with, but
Yeah.
for now it's nothing, and LGD are more than happy with the outcome of that engagement. Maybe got pretty low from that Exorcism, but that's the problem with all these defensive, the mech, the Shadow Wave.
If DJ has a Black Hole there, like he's tiny bit short on mana, perhaps just commits it to... It's worth it using a Black Hole there to solo kill a Dragon Knight because of how farmed DK is, and because your opponents have Aegis. So when your opponents have Aegis, you're just looking to stall their push. So a solo kill on a core is typically well worth it, but LGD, the sustain, Weave is so good this game against the physical damage of Exorcism, and a lot of Fnatic's damage is going to be physical moving forward. You look at Beastmaster, Death Prophet, the PL as he gets more items, so Dazzle, a fantastic pick this game for LGD.
Yeah, LGD right now, still they should have that Aegis ready to go for aggressive, and they want to be able to use the next Ravage. They don't have it just yet for Xiao 8, but they're going to be aggressive as they have the Guardian Greaves now. They have maybe with his Elder Dragon form back up and ready to go. On top of the fact that he's going a Silver Edge. Rolling Boulder, they won't find anything. Mid one's going to walk away. He's invised up with it in his room, but this tier 2 tower might end up falling. It's very low. I don't see Fnatic committing to defend this tower at this point.
Well, they smoke, they want to fight though. Ohio's ready with a Roar on the side.
He spoke too soon. They're ready to jump in. Mid one actually gets Boulder Smash. They're looking to dive. They get the gush off. He's got Doppelganger. Nice sounds coming through, and here comes DJ from the back. And they have the Black Hole ready to go. The Poison Touch. They have the Roar onto MMY. They get the Static Storm onto 2 as well. MMY getting low and will fall first on the other side. Black Hole onto maybe, but he gets the BKB off in time. Do they have the damage? Xiao accepts it. Still no Ravage ready to go. They get the mech through as well. Ohio trying to bring maybe down as much as possible. They get the Exorcism off. Aggressive might lose that Aegis. He's getting right clicked in. Of course, Grid Siphon down. They're going to work maybe. Will fall to the Exorcism. They get off Xiao 8 as well with the kinetic field. Mushi takes down Aggressive. Can they get the job done? He gets destroyed. Aggressive right clicks him down in the end. 3 for 2 exchange so far. Axes will get the Aegis, sniped by Ohio in the end of the engagement. Xiao should be able to get out. Maybe he wants to stay with aggressive. We'll see if they keep trying to pressure here.
Yeah, they've got a Ravage here, but Xiao very low. Unlikely to look to re-engage in. Pretty good fight for Fnatic. They commit a BKB hold. It was not really an ideal black hole. It took DK out of the fight, but it was pretty much entirely a zoning black hole just so that DK wasn't actually using spells or doing any damage during it. So a 2 for 3. The Aegis kill doesn't really matter for much because it was an Aegis that was about to expire anyway. So Lifestealer kind of throwing away his Aegis at the end was just meaningless. But ultimately for Fnatic, a decent fight, but the main worry is like heroes like Mushi on the Death Prophet, not really scaling all that well. He has to die in these fights for Fnatic to come out on top. PL though does survive and complete the much needed Manta Star mod. He's got it.
He has
this game
the Manta.
will go Fnatic's way now, right? That's how this works.
Black is happy, I'm sure. And Fnatic now, they have that next big item for mid one. He is starting to scale up into that late game territory with a Phantom Lancer. Needs a couple more items. And he can take over this game, but at this point in time, it's really fighting around the Ravage for Tidehunter, and you can see LGD are doing just that. They've smoked up, they still have Blink Ravage ready to go on top of the Guardian Greaves. They're looking to run straight down mid and try to find a pickoff, and it might be on the Enigma again. DJ getting Boulder smashed, rolling Boulder, and he pops the mech at BKB, no black hole. Now another rolling Boulder, and DJ will fall. He gets off the Midnight Pulse at the end, but LGD find another much-needed pick, and they might even try to push high ground now.
That's DJ, since getting this BKB, has not progressed at all in terms of items. He's been getting put out a few times. This has been a very rare this is a player who like you feel never has bad games, but it's not been an easy game for him here.
Ravage onto Ohio solo at this point. They blow him up, but he does have buyback. But Ravage is committed.
That's okay.
Flips back, Static Storm aggressive, caught in the kinetic field, but there's no follow-up damage. And meanwhile, going to work in the top lane, you can see it. The PL is going to town to the Mailorax. It's time to back for LGD. Maybe he's trying to do as much damage as possible that Glyph has done in that top lane. They will go to work on mid one. The Infest out. He's in trouble. He might actually fall. Doppelganger away. Mushi mid lane almost going down. Meanwhile, mid one is turning it around, killing 2. He can even get the racks now. LGD, the rest of them have to back. They have to buy back on aggressive as well. Xiao having to head out, and PL will doppelganger to the low ground with 50 HP. Can they catch him in time? Open moves will try to TP around. Can they find the right click? He'll make it out in time. What a TP from mid one.
What a play from the young star. This Fnatic PL. 1v2 in the top lane. Kills the Lifestealer Infest in the Earth Spirit, and then forces a Lifestealer buyback. Meanwhile, the rest of the Fnatic team are allowed to defend the high ground because of his play up top, and then he somehow gets out of there without dying. That is insane.
Mushi, they were chasing him down in the mid lane. They thought, okay, we can get this kill, we can TP back afterwards, or we can just get racks, and Mushi survived through all of that as well. So mid one and Mushi staying alive. They have to force the buyback for LGD on aggressive on that Lifestealer. That is a huge air for them to go down in that top lane against mid one. And we talked about the potential for a late game PL, and he's getting to that point, gods.
Yeah, he is very, very scary. And against these kind of strength heroes who are somewhat mana reliant, like if you burn all of Aggressive's mana pool, that takes out away the Rage. DK without Dragon Tail in late game fights isn't quite the same hero. This is a 9-second cooldown stun, which is effectively like a mini Raw. So Diffusal, very annoying for some of these heroes to deal with. And more importantly, okay AoE damage to clear the illusions in the form of the DK Dragon form, but outside of that, it is somewhat limited.
LGD now still with no Ravage for a couple of seconds. Meanwhile, Black Hole and Exorcism are back up ready to go. Mid one sitting in the tree line for now. Mushi's there as well. He's going to get the Crypt Storm off. He's just going to show himself, walk out, and try to continue this push into the tier 2 tower bottom. Everyone's still wrapping around. You can see Fnatic are putting 3-4-3 in an aggressive position, or at least they thought about it for a moment.
Yeah, they can initiate on Xiao with the Static Storm to stop the Ravage. It could go in their favor, but Ravage is coming up in 10, so it looks like the call may just be to retreat back off and not try and force a fight unnecessarily here in the bottom lane.
Do you think Fnatic can test this next Roche? I mean, it's up now, essentially, so...
Yeah, I think they do. I think the reason PL tries to TP back mid is largely to set up for that play. Mushi kind of heads towards top for a second, but yeah, he immediately changes direction back towards this Roche area. So the PL pushes out, shoves out the mid lane, meaning you're not as worried about the split push, and they have got the Exorcism around the pit. Problem is Mushi, short of his Shiver's Guard, does mean they've got the tools to defend against Aegis is the thing. So they can just play the split push game, and it looks like the call is actually going to be, let's not fight into the Roche area for now.
Mid one has headed towards top.
Route to travel in.
He's going to TP in down towards bottom.
Gotta come soon.
Roar's going to find Xiaowei. Can they burn his mana? Static Storm on top. They will lose Xiaowei maybe in time. They have Brave ready to go. Can they get it off? No. Xiaowei. Now the Black Hole on the maybe. It's solo. Can they bring him down? Aggressive will 2-3-3-4-3, but he's already gotten the Static Storm. Great from him. Why to keep maybe up, but aggressive going to work. Mushi about to fall. No more Exorcism. It comes down to mid one. Ohio left in the pit. You can see the illusions going to work. Ohio gets gushed up, getting chased down by Xiaowei, but looks like they're going to turn their attention. Aggressive is low. Out of mana. There's the Aegis gone. Down for 3 seconds. No maybe for 57 as well. And then Y getting low, and it looks like aggressive looking for more. Blinks forward, trying to find any other target, but Fnatic have already backed. Still, they did commit the Black Hole and Exorcism, and LGD only lost the Aegis as well as a buyback from Tide and, of course, DK.
I'm gonna come like knocking your door more. Can we take a second to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus? I mean MMY. MMY on this Dazzle, positioned outside of the Roshan pit, gets the grave off. DK does ultimately die, but it's the fact he stays alive from the grave that gets them the Mushi kill. If Mushi doesn't die to the DK there, that extended Exorcism with a potentially more Spirit Siphons could have led to a terrible fight for LGD, but his positioning was just on point. He saves his team so many times in that fight, and LGD do lose the Aegis immediately. So once Fnatic get their ultimates back up, they will be ready to go once again, but they're much more reliant on fighting around these ultimates. I mean, LGD have like a decent team fight with Ravage not even used.
Yeah.
Exorcism and Black Hole that are essential.
And
DJ has to like solo Black Hole the Dragon Knight. Mushi has to commit the Exorcism and the Static Storm just to kill the Tide.
And Mushi, you talked about it, a lot of these engagements, sure, he's getting 1 or 2 kills and then he's dying. Mushi is dying so often in these team fights, even with Exorcism and his Spirit Siphon's ready to go. He needs to be more tanky, and he's going to try to go that route with the Shiva's Guard, and that'll help him a little bit, but no Octarine just yet, no Bloodstone or anything like that to keep him up and alive. So
I think he would have benefited a lot this game from having a Ghost Scepter, like just replace the bottle with a Ghost Scepter. There's a number of times it may have saved his life, but he's thinking like, it's one of those small items you don't want to get unless you're like really behind. He's not that behind initially, so he's thinking like, I'm close enough where I'm in fighting shape, but now that he's died a few times, he would have really been able to do a lot more with a Ghost Scepter to help even transition into the Shiva's Guard afterwards, but we'll see how the fights change once he has that Shiva's Guard, and LGD will have a much tougher time bringing him down.
Good news for Fnatic, we keep talking about mid one, and he continues to scale on this beast in the late game, and with BKB and Rage, if that is all that they have, if he can just stay alive during those BKB and Rage durations, he can just chew through pretty much every hero. The mana burn, not only from him, but as well as from Ohio with the Necrobook 3, it's pretty crucial against Xiaowei on that Tidehunter. If they can burn all of his mana, maybe even with Guardian Greaves down to make sure that he doesn't have the mana for a Ravage, that could be a big play for Fnatic. In the meantime, LGD, they'll just farm up. Yeah. Like you said, it gives time for Fnatic to get their Black Hole as well as Exorcism ready to go. LGD looking to group them together as a team for now, and they're not smoking though, they're just walking back towards mid and clearing this out.
LGD don't really have like the lineup to push with, because the split push from mid one is just so annoying to deal with now. Like if they ever group up as 5 and try push down a lane, mid one somewhere else, forcing TPs back. So it's very disruptive for the LGD overall objective taking. And I think with Fnatic, what they need to take away from that is they don't have to force the fights just because they've got ultis up. They can play the farm game. They're getting a lot more farm out of the map at this stage. They've got heroes that can split push. They've got heroes that can take a lot out of the jungle with Beastmaster and Enigma, but more than anything, like they're not that afraid of like the catch of LGD. The catch is purely just this DK Shadowblade, and the follow-up for him isn't really that much burst damage. So I think if anything, Fnatic can actually just play a farm game, and it's not even entirely about like, oh, they've got the better late game draft. It's, oh, if you just keep farming for the next 10-15 minutes, they're going to turn this 2k gold lead into like a 5k gold lead.
They just scale better, I think, when it hits to that late game territory, at least with the PL, and even with the, like you said, the Beastmaster taking out the jungle, the Death Prophet as well. So LGD have to find their own farm elsewhere, and they can get that now with the Maelstrom picked up for the DK, which will help a fair bit, not to mention against creeps if it gets to that point. Do you feel like for LGD, they kind of missed their opportunity when they got that mid one double kill play at the top lane?
Yeah, and that was really when they were looking like, okay, we can take a Rax, but mid one just made the play of the tournament. This is a player who has had kind of a shaky tournament, has made mistakes here and there, had some really rough Ember Spirit games in the group stages, but he makes one play that keeps his team in the winner bracket. So he has completely made up for any of his previous games right now with this PL, and He's had an incredible best of 3 here, and it's Fnatic who are kind of back in the driver's seat now, dictating play for the time being.
LGD will group up as a team. They don't have the Earth Spirit. They'll walk over there together, and it looks like it.
Oh, I
think
like
they want
this
to
from
smoke
maybe.
up.
He's
Yeah.
gone into a Mjolnir. I was looking at like, okay, how do they counter the PL late game? Like, it's good that DK is really farmed because he's got the AoE damage of Dragonform, but that alone may not be enough. Now
Smoke
he's
will
gonna
break, and
Mjolnir.
Ohio sees it with the Observer Ward on the ground. The scan will come through, but it's a bit late, and I think everyone from Fnatic just gets out, hightails it away. They look like they might want to turn here, actually.
DJ's behind them. He
Maybe.
could
Has the
re-engage.
Silver Edge going into Mushi. He's actually in trouble. There's the BKB, and Mushi about to fall instantly.
God.
Instead of backing up together as a team, Fnatic stay a little bit long, and Mushi goes down for 65.
Yeah, Fnatic I think DJ was probably telling and communicating his team, like, I'm in a great position to flank them and perhaps catch them by surprise with a 2-3-man black hole, and also perhaps take MMY out of the picture. When you can come in from an angle like that from the trees, you often will catch those backline supports like Dazzle, who are so important, by surprise. Problem was, Mushi on the front lines just got blown up by Dragon Knight. That's where he really needs the Ghost Scepter.
And the immediate gem coming out from mid one as well.
Yeah.
They said, okay, we didn't have detection there. That's why you got caught. And obviously you died instantly. So we have detection. We have the vision of the DK Silver Edge coming out. We might be able to keep you alive next time.
Yeah, and at this point, Mushi just looking way too squishy in some of these fights. Needs to tank up as much as possible. DJ also, we talked about the Enigma. This BKB was up at like pre-20 minutes, and since then he's farmed up a Blink Dagger, not much on top of it. Could go into like a Guardian Greaves, but which is nice. Like the aura is something which is still not to be underrated when you get low HP, but
we talked about these greedy heroes though, and when you have these heroes all together, like especially mid one taking all of this farm, there's not really much room for the Enigma to get much CS out of this.
Yeah, and this is a game where having refreshers on heroes like Enigma and Beastmaster can make a big difference. 2 Raws in a fight, 2 Black Holes. Fnatic's late game, if they get to a point where they have double Black Hole, double Raw, is going to be far better, but they've got to find the room and space to farm. That's where mid one's actually the one who buys the gem for the team. He recognizes he's currently got all this extra money. He can replace his Aquila, replace his Quelling Blade, but he's going to continue to take farm away from the supporting cast of the Enigma, the Beastmaster, so helping out wherever he can is going to go a long way.
That might be what it comes down to, is just the supports scaling better on Fnatic side than LGD, because you have a Dazzle for LGD. I mean,
Yeah.
he's good defensively especially, but he's not going to scale as well as a DJ Enigma or as well as that 3-4-3 Aghanim Scepter, maybe Static Storm, so.
And Earth Spirit, similar story where against BKB heroes will struggle. It is a PL who isn't a BKB. He's got a Manta style to get out of the silence, so.
Fnatic will smoke up. They'll head towards that mid lane, and it looks like they want to find a blink initiation with Ohio. They have the Hawk scouting things out. LGD are sitting behind the tier 2 tower, but we've seen them sit behind a tier 2 tower before and die. LGD, they're not smoked up. They're just playing a little bit up at this point, looking to wrap on whoever is mid, but it's just illusions for now for Fnatic.
Yeah, I believe they know here what's kind of happening. See what Zhao 8 does next on the Tide. I'm curious if he goes for like a refresher or if he just goes for like a more stable build up in the Shiva's Guard.
He has the plate mail for Xiaowei,
Yeah.
so he might just hold on to that.
He's got 3k gold, which is where I kind of think he may consider going back into the refresher. Shivers is definitely nice for the team, but if you're thinking this game's going 60 minutes in and it's going to come down entirely to team fights, that's where you're like, well, double Ravage is better than 1 Ravage plus Shivers.
Yeah, the refresher could come out for Tide here in a moment, but we'll wait and see what he picks up as his next item. Getting close to the Shiva's Guard. And Fnatic are just putting a lot of pressure, kind of choking out LGD right now. They're not letting them go into their own jungle, only for a little bit at that point. And mid one's just split pushing with his illusions. They have Fnatic just being aggressive. There's really no vision from LGD other than the Observer Ward mid and towards the, I guess, edge of the jungle, towards that top lane.
And this is where I think Fnatic can play the farm game. I mean, there's a lot of farm at top, obviously, their entire jungle open to them, the Ancients. Getting these big late game items like Refresher on Beastmaster go a long way. The Enigma is not really that close to his.
Oh, he just roared the courier. And then he just blinks out. He says, okay, that's enough of that.
That's,
He's actually in trouble now. Boulder Smash is going to come through. Ohio made an aggressive play, and he's going to get punished for it instantly.
and loses a gem as well.
That is a gem down. LGD will take that trade any day of the week. He just roared the courier and then left. That was awkward.
Not much to say about that one, Mort. That one gets a off chat question mark from me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I think he was just saying, okay, well, I don't know where the rest of the team is. I'll try to get this kill on the courier and then leave. And then he saw the rest of the squad. He's like, well, I'm probably dead now.
The good news is, luckily for Fnatic, Roshan is not respawning anytime that soon. He's going to actually be back alive before Roche is back up. But, I mean, Beastmaster's not a hero you want to have dying because he's one of those heroes that needs to hold on to what farm he can for that item progression that I talked about. So, You can't just purely rely on Mushi and mid-1 to scale into the late game. Mid-1, by the way, gets past the bottle for a DD rune, so potential double damage PL if Fnatic decide to play around the next Roche, which will be respawning around 30 seconds from now.
So he has the double damage rune for that fight. Which
or
is...
alternatively, for like if your opponents go for Roche, you go for the Rax, and having DD to go for a Rax split push is
And look
very
where the
dangerous.
creep wave is top 2. I mean, all it takes is one push here, and he's already at that Rax. In fact, they probably have to go back and defend this now, which means that you don't have everyone down at that Roche pit to contest or to fight with Fnatic if they want to go for it.
Worth noting, Aggressive has picked up a BKB on Lifestealer, so really respecting the 3-4-3 Disruptor, able to find those initiations. So if he gets roared into a Static Storm, he can always get out of it with the BKB magic immunity if he can't rage. Similarly, if it's a Static Storm initiation, he can get out of it as well.
And he has an AC on top of that, so he has plenty of armor, plenty of HP now. I think he's doing a lot better than he did last game, but he's still not having the best game, I think.
His damage output isn't great, but it's reliable, because you've got the 2 forms of magic immunity now, so you know you should be able to get value out of this lifesteal. Unless he gets roared into a black hole and just completely blown up at the start of the fight, very likely this lifesteal will offer something. And if they're committing that much for a lifesteal, then it's maybe on the Dragon Knight who's going to just wreck house. He is actually looking very scary at this stage. Has picked up a Demon Edge now to build towards an MKB, so he wants to counter this Butterfly pickup on mid-1, but... And that's where I feel like Fnatic, if they can find a good 5v5 fight while they've got the Butterfly and there's no MKB, may be able to come out on top.
Oh, they're going to find the Ancient Black Dragon, and mid-1 is going to chew through this so fast, but maybe is invised up, and they're going to go to work the Steven's Guard. Doppelganger comes out, they get the Ravage, but they have the BKB at least on DJ. Looking for a black hole, can't find it, roars up into Aggressive, still trying to find that black hole. Meanwhile, buyback from mid-1 as he gets dropped down. The Exorcism will go Aggressive, running the TP coming through, and it might get canceled on the tail, and it looks like it does. They will fight 4 versus 5, and so far, a black hole on the kill. Can they turn it around? Maybe slow, but they should have a grave available ready for MMY. They've lost 2, they've lost 3, including the buyback. The Axe is coming through, the Exorcism still doing work, but it's just not enough, and Mushi about to fall. Maybe gets the triple kill. What an engagement from the DK and LGD as a whole.
Yeah, their team fight, the sustain, they've got the weave up again. Maybe he's just so tanky. The BKB on the lifesteal helping keep him alive, and most importantly, they have the PL on the front lines, knowing that this is the hero that is so hard to bring down. If LG are going to kill him, they're going to have to commit a lot. He can buy back and TP into the fight. His boots of travel got cancelled. He didn't actually complete his TP in. LGD killed the creep that he was going to, and as a result, PL's buyback was wasted there, so Fnatic find themselves unable to take that fight. They were going to lose Roshan and be put on the back foot now as mid-1 has to play without buyback, and LGD playing with Aegis and Cheese can look to potentially go for a high ground push sometime once they have Ravage back.
If they kill mid-1 again, there's a good chance LGD just take this game, take this series at this point. That's just a buyback that I feel like maybe you have to make, because if he's there in that engagement, they might be able to bring down both maybe and Aggressive. But like you said, the TP, there must not have been another creep wave around, because that was a very aggressive TP. You looked at where that creep was. It was right pretty much where LGD was, all 5 of them.
Yeah.
And it just got killed pretty much. It took a half a second, but LGD did get the job done by killing that, making sure the TP was not completed. And now they'll be aggressive. They know there's no Exorcism, there is no black hole. Sure, they don't have Ravage, but they have Aggressive, they have maybe with Elder Dragon Form coming back up. And Xiaoi's just gonna walk right in. He blinks in with the Shivas. They'll take a Spirit Lance, the illusions will go to work, burn a lot of that mana. They pop the Necro 3, comes back, and there's a Static Storm and Xiaoi. Can they bring him down? They'll lose the melee racks in the process, but if they kill Xiaoi, it might be worth it. They get the Grave up from MMY again, and this might be able to allow him to walk out. He gets stunned up with the Malefice, it might be enough. He's so tanky, the Crypt Storm doesn't connect, and he's just gonna Guardian Greaves and stay alive.
And now it's not just Black Hole on cooldown, it's a Static Storm on cooldown. They get another glimpse.
But there's no follow-up here.
He's got Cheese, though.
They're gonna jump in, Doppelganger Aggressive working on 3-4-3, already used that 4-step, and he's gonna get chewed down. Aggressive and the squad of LGD take their first full set of racks against Fnatic, and they are up against the wall here.
Yeah, they put away 20 seconds for a Black Hole. Have got Glyph.
Exorcism is back up. They can't afford 2 sets of racks, perhaps. Still no Static Storm and no 3-4-3 for 30 seconds. Gush will come out aggressive. He's going to get chewed through again. Has that Aegis. They have Grave ready. He's running low on mana. They will get that First set of racks, first melee racks. Black Hole is going to be on to 2. Is it enough? They have the exorcism. They might only get the Aegis to Xiaowei. It's very tanky. The Shiva's Guard will come through. There's just not enough damage. He infests out and stays alive. The Grave comes through again from MMY. Maybe it's actually going to go toe-to-toe with mid one and lose. And Aggressive is now going toe-to-toe with Ohio, but he is getting chewed through by the exorcism. They have to Rolling Boulder away. They will at least lose this first life of Aggressive, but that might be it. Can he get out in time? He should have that BKB. No, he doesn't. He has no rage either. The static, he blinks out in time, but the Glimpse will come through. 343 was ready. Aggressive will fall. They do get a full set of racks and the melee racks bottom god, so it's not all bad for LGD there.
And that's sometimes the kind of casualties you have to take when you go for that high ground push in LGD's position. Once that black hole comes back up, Fnatic were ready to initiate, and the problem is you can't get out of there cleanly against a disruptor. The Glimpse catch will always punish you on the retreat, but you get a full lane of racks plus a melee racks at bottom, so it's still an LGD victory. Scary thing is they're likely going to have to commit a buyback to defend with. Fnatic are already charging forward, pushing top with mid one, pushing mid lane with the other 3 heroes. They'll have DJ back alive soon without Black Hole though, so these LGD buybacks, they need to win the fight off of them, or potentially just try and delay such that they don't have to commit both buybacks. Ideally, you can defend without the Lifestealer. Your DK is going to respawn in 15, you buy time for that using Glyph, and then you've got Lifestealer who can just hope that his team defends 4v5.
LGD just need to play this smartly, and they already buy back on the Lifestealer. No fight committed just yet for them. And it looks like Fnatic won't lose anyone, not yet anyway. The Glimpse back, they get off the stone form, I think, on top of the Disruptor, but he's able to get out in time. Meanwhile, the mid lane was getting chewed down, the tier 3 tower at half health, but LGD forced to buy back on Aggressive. Not the worst thing in the world. They don't have to buy back on maybe, which is the most important thing in my opinion.
Yeah, the buyback cooldown, something that both teams will have to be very wary of now. The Lifestealer, the less important one than the Dragon Knight, as mentioned, but still very risky for LGD. They likely will be trying to slow things down here while they wait for the buyback, as well as a potential MKB on Aggressive. He may as well just go ahead and buy it now that he doesn't have buyback. And now that there's an Agcept on Earth Spirit, there's so many defensive tools for LGD to use. They've got the Grave from the Dazzle. They've also got the Geomagnetic Grip, which can be used on a teammate to save them from the Earth Spirit. You can also activate or enchant the Remnant on a teammate, potentially even an enemy, to save their lives. So plenty of saves for heroes that are already very tanky. It's very obvious when someone like Dragon Knight or Lifesteal is about to die. It takes a long time. MMY was just sitting behind the tide there when he's on the high ground and saves the Grave for like the very last second, because he knows there's no like burst damage to catch you by surprise. There's no like Finger of Death or Day on 5. Yeah, there's nothing that can be like something like a huge amount of damage in a short amount of time. It's just a PL who's kind of slow, steady, takes away your HP bit by bit, and that's where Dazzle is just getting these timely Graves time and time again.
Ohio has to actively look for the Dazzle in these engagements in order to make sure those Graves and those Shadow Waves don't get off, which is very difficult for Ohio in this game. He's had his hands full just dealing with the Lifestealer and the DK as it is. Fnatic will go for an aggressive smoke up, and this could turn the tides. If they can kill Aggressive, they'll be put in such a good position, but I don't know if LGD will be caught by this. Xiao is very close to his tier 3 tower. I mean, they practically have to dive if they want to find an engagement here for Fnatic.
And the vision is not bad. They may actually go on Xiaowei, but he has got buyback.
They're pinging on maybe. I think they want to go for him, but he's going to back up already. Mushi, not been scouted yet. Now Xiaowei, they come through, and he's actually going to get drained of his mana, but still gets out in time, and here comes Aggressive. They have the Abyssal Blade. There's the Static Storm. Black Hole he's looking for it. Can't find it, and DJ won't be able to hit it. Now he gets the Black Hole onto 2 of the 2 cores. Do they have the damage? The Exorcism maybe in trouble. Do they have the Grave in time from MMY? But can they survive through the fight? Maybe about to fall. Stone Form coming out from the Earth Spirit. They'll be pulled back with a Geomagnetic Grip, and nobody is dead yet, but here comes the Glimpse. They get the Glimpse back, and they get the DK. He's got buyback, but he has no Elder Dragon form, and mid one is full health still. They're going to go for the tier 3 tower, even with Exorcism and Black Hole down. This is still troublesome. They do have double Ravage, though, ready to go for the Tide Hunter.
He can buy back, but he has no Dragon form, which really limits what DK can do in a fight. Importantly, Xiaowei had no mana that entire fight. He's bought a Refresher now, though.
Buyback coming through. There's going to be the Ravage, but he actually only hits it onto DJ. Refresher will come out. He gets off the second, but DJ will fall. Mid one tanky enough, but he still has to do this on his own. The sounds come down. He's in trouble. He can't afford to go down, and he will. Xiaowei gets a double. He'll be dead for 2 minutes. That is a huge kill. They have to defend 2 minutes now without their main damage dealer in the PL.
It was a great instant silence as Xiaowei TP'd in, but he had the Guardian Greaves, so he dispels the silence and then just blink ravages, catches the necessary targets, gets the second off before losing his mana. The last fight, he got completely destroyed by the Diffusal Blade of PL, preventing him from ravaging. This time around, he takes no chances, goes for the early ravage in the team fight. And LGD, they can smell victory here. 60 seconds without Exorcism, and all it's going to take is, they could theoretically go for the throne. The problem is this tier 2 tower top really delays their push, but 80 seconds is what they have to work with without a PL.
They're not that close to the base, but they still have plenty of time to work with. 75 seconds this PL is dead for. In terms of his time on the buyback, you can see it right now. Even if he has it, but he just doesn't have the gold currently.
It's very... Oh, really? Oh, wow. He actually came off cooldown. That is brutal.
He needs 137 gold. If they could find, I don't know, a tier 3 anything.
Yeah, there's no lanes pushing out, unfortunately, and find a courier, perhaps? That's actually flying on out, but you don't really know that. The big thing is here, when he does respawn, they've got Black Hole, they've got Exorcism. They may have to use Exorcism earlier. They have to try and delay this as much as possible. Use the glyph, do whatever you can to stall this, but without buybacks, it's so difficult. Ahaya doesn't want to keep chewing through buyback himself. He really wants to have a refresher too, so very difficult.
It's not an easy defense, but it's 30 seconds.
LGD don't know about his buyback timer. That's the important thing to note here as well. LGD are scared of him buying back with a Black Hole, and if you lose DK, you could lose the game. So LGD may just respect the fact that there's a possible buyback.
20 seconds, glyph is used. He's up in 16 now. Aggressive does a lot of damage with maybe as well, but now the glyph is gone, and the tier 3 is down. But LGD, I don't think they want to go any further. Now that he's back up in 8 seconds, they're happy with the tier 3 tower. It is getting close, and even while that was happening, they took the Range Rex top lane for Fnatic, well, a little bit earlier during that engagement, actually, so they're getting kind of close to evening this up, although Fnatic still have a ways to go, gods.
Oh yeah, it's going to take a big team fight from them. They've got to hit some of those black holes, and again, we see no item progression out of DJ's Enigma. The Beastmaster gets closer and closer to a Refresher Orb. It's just really the PL, and Death Prop, I mean, Mushi picks up a 4-star. Talk about the Ghost set, the 4-star functioning in a very similar way, helps him get away from the lifesteal of the Dragon Knight, get him away from a Ravage, even potentially save a teammate. There's been a few times where it's like 3-4-3 on Disruptor, it's just got a lifesteal on him, and nobody can save his life, so it's a great item to have this game, but it's not the item you'd like to see on your 2-position player. I mean, at 54 minutes in.
Death Prophet is a bit behind here, and it kind of feels like what happened last game where the Alchemist was the top of the net worth, and he couldn't do enough in those engagements. The Alch was great, but unfortunately for LGD, they couldn't find the engagements for him to actually win the fight solo. And Mid-1 feels like the same sort of hero in this situation, although I feel if the game continues to go late, I mean, he is 6-slotted, but he could still dish out a ton of damage, level 25 now. Fnatic just have to hit their abilities, maybe bring down MMY a little bit earlier in these engagements. It's the toughest thing.
I like the late game Aether Lens pickup for September. Gives him the increased save range on the Geomagnetic Grip, and perhaps more importantly, the increased Enchant Remnant range. This spell very hard to cast because of the melee cast range on it, so nice pickup for him, but he can be a big playmaker. We saw that last fight where he almost gets the DK back to safety. Killing these LGD heroes is so difficult when they've got both Earth Spirit and Dazzle, and they're just naturally tanky. And DK is going to have a Satanic soon as well, so...
That is not a good sign for Fnatic, for them to be able to chew through all that HP, and then if he gets graved up...
Though, they know DK has no buyback, so if they can kill Dragon Knight, the Lifestealer is not going to be able to win his team the fight on his own. It's just a question of how much do they have to commit, what are they going to lose in order to kill off that Dragon Knight. And the problem is this top lane, the mid lane currently pushing in very quickly.
And Mushi will at least find some CS for himself, but they will not be able to push. They'll send the Illusions to do the rest of the work, but they'll get cleared out pretty quickly. Yeah, the DK is going to have the...
Fnatic still want to linger around this bottom lane. They really want to try and fight while there's no DK buyback. 2 minutes and a bit. Mushi, if he pushes out one more crit wave, can immediately look to rejoin his team, and there is a potential Roshan here. It could be the first one Fnatic actually pick up.
Yeah, it's about to respawn, if not already, and Fnatic have a pretty good positioning around this pit, but to take it quickly enough is going to be the problem, especially with Aggressive and maybe going in. Even get the Mjolnir Static Shield onto Aggressive on the Lifestealer. He pushes out a little bit and then worried about the potential initiation from Fnatic, it just blinks away. So it's actually LGD hemmed in their own base right now, and this gives Fnatic the opportunity to go for said Roche at this point.
Yeah. I think LGD likely could just give this one up. The vision advantage with the Hawk does help. But nope, they're ready. They've actually got a smoke. They can bypass the Hawk with this, but
there is no way they take this in time. Fnatic need to get out. Mushi is going to be stunned by the boulder smash. They're going to come through. Shao looking for a Ravage. Can't find it. Mushi pops the BKB early. Aggressive blinks in. Pops the Rage as well. Still has his BKB ready to go. They really want to contest this and take it down as quickly as possible. They get the refresher for Ohio. It's coming out. Double Roar is ready. Can they find a kill off of this? Maybe he's walking up with the Silver Edge. Ohio's going to get caught first. Ravage catches onto 2. Black Hole counter initiation. Static Storm on top. Aggressive is low. They get up to Static Storm. Shao pops the refresher. It's not enough. Maybe it's getting chewed through by mid 1. They get up the Roar. They'll lose 2. They'll lose 3. They buy back on the Tide. He's got another Ravage. They have no buyback on Maybe. What an initiation from DJ. And they'll find another one. They get MMY. Min 1 gets a double. The crowd is going absolutely freaking nuts, guys.
I just like took my headset off. I'm like, whoa, my gosh. DJ just comes up and he saves Ohio. I'm like, I see Ohio get stunned. I'm like, oh, that's the worst possible scenario for Fnatic. If Ohio dies, he has no buyback. He doesn't get either roar off, but DJ's Black Hole, insane! Fnatic, they're ready to push now. They've got Aegis, they've got Cheese on their side. They're ready to take the fight to LGD, who do not have Dragon Knight buyback. 20 seconds though, and it will be up. So this is going to be a close one. Fnatic do not want to overcommit, but
DJ pops the BKB. Xiaowei coming in. He's got a Ravage. They use the Abyss onto aggressive. He's got the Infest into the 4. Now he's out immediately. Mid 1 going to work. Doppelganger chasing him down, trying to get this kill on the dieback, ready to go. Now Seth can change him. He actually gets the Stone Form off, and Seth now in trouble. Magnetize will go. BKB in time. And we'll save aggressive for the time being. They have the buyback on the DK. MMY about to respawn. They want to get at least one set of racks. There's the buyback coming out from the Earth Spirit. They get off the buyback as well for the DK. Now coming in aggressive, goes to work on Imushi, gets forced out. Good boulder smash. Roar comes through on aggressive. And they should cover their retreat. MMY comes out with a Shadow Wave. Xiaowei blinking forward, still has that Ravage ready to go. And it looks like Fnatic might just back up, not even getting a rack though.
They see the bottom and top lane. They're drawing lines already. Let's push out these lanes. We just forced a lot of buybacks. We don't have Black Hole. We don't have Exorcism. Why risk it now? If we're going to risk a 5v5 fight where we go all in, at least do it when we've got ultimate. They're not going to have buyback for some time now. DK, 7 minutes. Earth Spirit, 6 and a bit minutes. This is a long window for Fnatic to have Aegis on their side and potentially give them the opportunity to push and go for that game-winning flow. All it's going to take is one team fight, because they can go straight for the throne. At this point, it's no longer a game of, oh, they're up 2 racks, or oh, they're behind by 3 racks. It's entirely a game where one team fight will decide things if there's no buybacks on LGD.
And they will push these waves out. They have all of their ultimates back up, and we've seen what DJ can do with the Black Hole. I mean, for God's sakes, what a game changer. That fight looked over.
Do we dare see what he can do with 2 Black Holes? He's 900 gold away from a refresher orb.
That's just going to be dirty from DJ.
And the crazy thing is they get away with that fight without having the gem to see the DK initiation. If they can see the DK running in it with the Silver Edge, which the gem likely will provide them, then things go very differently.
Fnatic now, with all of their abilities, their items coming up, they are the ones now in the driver's seat with the cooldown status, the buyback status, excuse me. You have 4 buybacks for Fnatic. The only one that doesn't have it is Ohio. He's 1,400 away, and everybody from LGD is missing their buyback, mostly due to the respawn or the cooldowns of it. And of course, MMY is 400 gold away, and he might not ever get there, considering he is a Dazzle not farming very well.
He'll rebuys his Diffusal, so he has charges to work with now, so he's just got that secondary one sitting back at base, but for Fnatic, they've got all the items they need. It's going to just come down to that teamfight execution. They're ready to push once again. Good 2-minute duration on this Aegis, so they'll have one go with Exorcism, but one go is all you need when your opponents don't have buyback.
It comes down to
I feel like Earth Spirit September has to make some insane plays. He's the one with the Aghanim Scepter. He's the one who can kick enemies deep into their own base. He can save his teammates. He has to do a lot.
The Enchant Remnant is going to be huge. Xiaowei's initiation with the double Ravage as well is something that Fnatic have to be wary of, and they're going to start pushing to the top melee racks. The one building here they want to take down first to make sure they can get this at least advantage in the top lane in terms of wave clear and push. Mushi's not dropping the Exorcism yet.
I don't think LGD want to necessarily fight just for this one melee rack. No. They want to fight as close to their T4s as possible so that Enchant Remnant could possibly get like a kick into the fountain.
Aggressive actually infests out, so that's now on cooldown for a fair bit. 46 seconds, pretty short cooldown, all things considered. And Fnatic, they will get the first full set of racks for themselves in this game.
They still got a minute on the Aegis here, so they know they'll have one X's of use, so they didn't need to rush things here. They are pinging bottom, saying, look, if we don't do this quick, bottom lane is going to become a problem. So let's perhaps go sometime soon.
They're going to send the Blink Ravage in. They'll get the Aegis instantly, the Static Storm. They get the Refresher off now. DJ got hit up with it as well. They're looking for Ohio. He has double roar still. Another Ravage. Only catches one, though. They really want this kill. The Beastmaster Ghost Scepter comes out. He gets the roar off as well. They have Blink Black Hole. He's looking for it. Can't find it. He misses it on maybe. He actually misses it. Maybe still, though, in trouble. About to fall. Enchant Remnant comes out from Seb. Still, though, in trouble. Maybe comes out. The Grave comes through. Aggressive and Shao going to work. Maybe very low. Now the Black Hole. He refreshes it. DJ will find 3. Aggressive's about to fall. And there it is. They've done it. It's GG.
DJ Enigma! What a hero! Fnatic have somehow turned this game around,
He buys the Refresher mid-fight and gets the job done. Are you joking me? What a Black Hole.
This is a championship caliber team. This is a team who have just shown they can turn around games, turn around fights like that. LGD, they played some great Dota, but Fnatic, when it came down to it in the clutch, they delivered.
In front of the SCA crowd, more than happy to see Fnatic move on to top 6.